Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 29th. We are going to jump right in here. You have the Snake Spirit curveball, Virgo. It says time to heal. And you have this Starfish Spirit says open to infinite possibilities. A couple days ago, depending on when you're watching this reading, we had that eclipse in your sign, which is like literally all about healing. So, I think a lot of you could be doing something to heal pretty much anything. It doesn't even, have to be one thing or the other. So, healing is an excellent thing for you to do. And again, this could also be any blockages that you're experiencing. So, like healing money blocks, healing your old story, whatever the story is that you tell yourself about yourself, and or about how you make money or about how you love or whatever the case may be. Those are the things that you're going to be working on. Makes perfect sense. Also with the South Node in Virgo as well. So doesn't really surprise me to see that. I love this Starfish card. It says open to infinite possibilities. We are kind of like in a time of possibilities in the first place. So, I always say that one of the best things we can all do is give ourselves more variety, have more experiences. And, people ask me about that all the time. They're like, do you mean like going and having fun? Do you mean, learning a new topic? I'm like, yeah, all of that. Yeah, everything you just said. So, we have to kind of give ourselves variety. In the area of your current general energies, you have the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Really good reading here, Virgo, for sure. You have probably one of the better readings so far this week. The rest of the readings have been a little, I don't know. It seems like the end of September has been a little bit of a weird month in general. I do think October, I'm going to do the October readings, of course, and, I think October will be a little bit of an improvement. November, even more of an improvement, even though we have a Mercury retrograde. It doesn't really matter. So the Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire. And, you being the opposite sign of Pisces, definitely in, October, November, December, you have, like, one more chance to work on that impossible dream, kind of, like I've been saying to everyone. And you have this open to infinite possibilities, like believing that something that seems impossible might actually be possible for you. And, again, that's really Neptune and Pisces. And, it's kind of a blessing that we have Saturn traveling along with it. And, it's pretty freaking crazy that we get to be born at a time where Neptune is transiting through Pisces. At the end, Saturn moves with it into Aries and then retrogrades back with it, basically, into Pisces, and then moves forward into Aries again, pretty much at the same time. On a cosmic scale, 1 month away from each other is nothing. So, we kind of are being blessed by this, I think. And, I just encourage everyone to really take advantage of it because, again, Neptune and Pisces, definitely a delusional dream that you have. But with Saturn there, it's like if there was ever a time where you could maybe even get close, it would be right now. And, I always say Ten of Pentacles, really good card, but, it's not about accomplishing having it all. Even though the Ten of Pentacles represents having it all, it's about just working towards it. It basically says that working towards improving your life to this level is a worthy goal, right, Virgo? So, that's what I would be working on. You have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is like the big opportunity for you to do something. So I feel that there could be a big opportunity that's coming in for you. I think it's like, but it's not like you're receiving this opportunity. It's more like you're creating it is what I feel intuitively. As in, and what I mean by that is like sometimes the Ace of Pentacles can absolutely be someone or, something giving you an opportunity. I feel like this is coming from you. Again, it's like an idea that you have or a plan that you've always wanted to accomplish or, something like that. And, that's kind of how I feel about the Ace of Pentacles. You have the Chariot. The Chariot can represent a victory or big success coming in for you here. So, and you also have the Six of Wands. Whenever I have two cards that are like connected to each other that represent the same thing, to me it's like confirmation that this could definitely be happening. So, we have two cards of a victory here or like a big win coming into your life. So I do feel that there's like some sort of big win. I'm pretty sure I've been saying this to you as well. Both cards really represent making moves, like making big moves in life, doing the things that actually get you moving forward. So I do feel a lot of you are also just like, making big moves here, Virgo. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Six of Swords. Love it. It's like general improvements. Again, very good reading, for sure. You end with the Tower, but it's coming up in the good stuff. So, that would be the only hiccup in this reading, but it's not even showing up in a bad position. So, wouldn't really worry about it, Virgo. And, the Six of Swords is like moving on to calmer shores. It's like the things you're doing are leading to improvements. I do feel a sense of this like bravery coming up here, Virgo, as well. Like maybe you even notice this in yourself, that you are feeling more brave, or maybe you're willing to take bigger risks. It's like we're kind of in a weird time where it's like the universe is wanting us to do things, and but the universe could also be like taking away certain crutches in our lives, right? Like I don't really have any good examples, but there are certain crutches that we all have in life, and like some of those things could be being taken away, and that's what I feel on that Six of Swords. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, I mean, definitely having to take a risk. I mean, the thing about the Ace of Pentacles is that through this little portal here, this whatever you want to call it, archway, there are these mountains. So, the Ace of Pentacles requires effort, and sometimes, like, we have to decide that we have to do hard things to accomplish the goal, whatever it is. And, I basically feel this is saying, like, don't be afraid of putting in the work. With the Chariot, you have the Three of Cups. Yeah, there's been a lot. You are probably one of the #1 signs that gets these cards of standing out, getting attention. Again, very common energy because of Pluto and Aquarius. I think Pluto and Aquarius is like, from a spiritual perspective, we have to be an inspiration. So obviously to be an inspiration, we have to get attention. And I feel like there could be a lot more attention coming in for you. I'm also getting, like, if you're thinking about doing something that would get you attention, I would do it. Like, especially if you're not. Like, if you're thinking about, like, just some examples, starting a podcast, starting a YouTube channel, writing a book, starting a blog, like, starting a social media, something. If you have been thinking about doing that, I think it would be a great time for you to get started. I feel like there could be, the Three Cups, these three ladies, are celebrating a future or they're celebrating a harvest that they're having right now. I feel like there's some sort of like future harvest coming in for you here, where it's like the work you do is going to pay off. You have the Eight of Pentacles right next to it. The Eight of Pentacles is my card of material success on the horizon. It basically says the work you're doing now is worth it, and you will see that it's definitely worth it in the future, so I would go for it. Next, we are going to look at what's coming in for you at this time. You have the Shared Dreams card. It says partners, places, times, and adventures. You have this Wonder card. It says breakthrough, awakening, and delight. Yes, I think you are going to be delighted. I think you are going to be delighting yourself. We do see some good love stuff here. You have the Two of Cups. So, there definitely could be like a person who has similar goals or, similar ideas to you coming in for you, which would be great. Also, in the area of what's coming up for you, you have the Two of Wands, the Six of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. I really feel like Virgos are taking the lead in a different way. It's like you are, I feel Virgos have the opportunity to take the lead in life, but you're doing it in ways that you've never done it before. And, this is going to be a good thing. I also feel like you are, it's almost like you are coming from this position of truth. And I feel like that's what's making you like stand out the most is, you could say that's always true, right? But I think, especially in the AJAI here, right? It's like authenticity is going to be the thing that shines through, people being able to tell that you're real, that you're not like a robot, right? That is something that is going to be very important. And, that's what I mean by authenticity. It's like, you're not just, you're not just being, it's like, if you think about careers, for example, right? It's like there's the trope of the manager who can't even do their job, right? And it's like you're different. I feel like you're taking the lead through more like doing and more action and also being authentic. And so I feel very good about this Two of Wands. You have the Six of Wands. Yeah, success coming in for you, so definitely victory. I also feel like you could be making a lot of moves. I would encourage you, like, if you're anything you're thinking about, I would just do it. And anything that is inspiring you in the moment, especially with Neptune going into Pisces in October, I would say that's going to be the secret. I have like 3 secret projects I'm working on right now. Like even yesterday, I woke up, I had a plan to work on another project, but then I started working on a different one, like the second one, we'll call it, right? And that's what I worked on all day. because I felt inspired in the moment to do it. And I think for Virgo, even though you're not a Pisces, doesn't matter. I think it's going to be very important for you to work that way, like, to do the things that you want to do in the moment, because you're probably going to see a lot more progress when you do it that way. Like I'm not bragging here, but I made a crap ton of progress yesterday on this project. And it's like, if I worked on the other thing, it's like maybe I wouldn't have made any progress at all, right? Because I just didn't feel inspired to do it in the moment. And, those are the types of moves that I would be making if I were you, Virgo, because those are the things that are going to make you stand out the most, right? And so there you go. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, I think that you should almost look at everything you do right now as an investment. It's like, I feel like you'll be getting results right now. Like if you're working on a business, or if you're working on your health or something else, it doesn't have to be money. It could be anything. Whatever you're working on, it's like you'll get results now. But I also feel you need to realize that, these, like, the results are going to be compounding into the future. So, like, if you're not getting the results you desire, like, don't give up is what I feel like the card is saying. I feel like it's saying, that's what my intuition is really telling me on this card for you, Virgo, that, what you don't realize is that, it's like maybe you're only getting like 70% of the result, but like you have like a little spiritual piggy bank where like 30% of the work you're doing is like going in there. And I feel that that's going to pay off in the future. It's like it's almost like you're paying a universe tax, but you're going to get it all back in the future. And so keep going. Don't give up on whatever you're working on. With the Two of Wands, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, very good. We have divine counterparts here. This is someone who really lights your fire here, Virgo. So if you're looking for love, if you don't already have it, definitely could be a very passionate connection coming in for you. Like I said, I get this sense of bravery from the reading, but it's like something you notice where maybe you're taking bigger risks, or maybe you are noticing that you're putting yourself out there more. A big theme for Virgo with the South Node in Virgo is definitely, kind of being willing to be messy. So maybe you are more willing to kind of like do things that aren't perfect. I know, shocker, right, Virgo? But, at the same time, this will be good. With the Six of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles is a big change in direction, which makes sense. You also have two sixes here, and, the Seven of Pentacles goes here. Two sixes, to me, is confirmation for your path. I love two sixes. If you've been watching me for a while, I love two sixes because it's like confirmation for your path. And that Seven of Pentacles is a big, like I said, big change in direction. So I feel for a lot of you, there could be a lot of changes coming in here. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Hermit, you showing up here, one thing I would say is like there would be nothing wrong with you showing off more. He has this light in his lantern here. Sometimes I feel like the Hermit says, if you got it, flaunt it. If you have a skill, or if you're really good at something, you need to put it on display, and you need to show it off, because it's like you're not going to be able to be successful if you don't. And so I think it would be a great time for you to like show off, show your skills, and all this other stuff. The other thing I would be careful of is like living things too much mentally. It's like sometimes I think if we dream too much, or, let's say you want to start a YouTube channel, if you're living it too much in your head, you're not grounding it in reality. And that's kind of the feeling I get from the card. It's like saying something needs to be, grounded in reality, or something needs to come down to earth, because like the world needs to see it, or the world needs to see you here, Virgo. And that's like the important message that I'm getting off of this card. But really good, whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength. Next, we're going to look at messages from your future self. You have this card. It says, take time to breathe out. You also have this new moon of Leo. It says, confidence is the key to your success. Yes, the whole entire time we basically talked about that, but King and Queen of Wands are definitely two cards that would represent needing to be confident, assertive, bold, needing to make things happen, needing to put yourself out there in a bigger way. So I do feel that, practicing confidence, or, even doing things to create more confidence would be a very good idea. You have the Two of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the King of Wands. So the Two of Cups can be a perfect match, and, there could be a perfect match. You even end with the Page of Cups, which could be an admirer coming in for you. Two of Cups is usually different than your usual type, which is usually a good thing with the Two of Cups, because, kind of would represent, usually the reason we have problems in relationships is because we pick the same type of person. So we just keep living the same story. You know, it's also funny that we have this lion up here because you have that new moon of Leo. It says confidence is your key to success. So maybe there's a person that makes you have to be confident, or maybe you're going to have to be confident to make a move here. But whatever it is, it looks really good. You have the Page of Wands. Again, we go back to variety, like I was talking about at the beginning of the reading. The Page of Wands goes on an adventure, but he makes no assumptions about the adventure. I think that's something no one talks about with the Page of Wands, is that he has a goal in mind, but how he gets there just doesn't matter. He is willing to experiment. He just follows his enthusiasm. He stays the course, right? But, you know, if he needs to make a change, then he does it. Like, let's say you want to start a podcast, but maybe you realize that you should be on video, right? It's like he would be doing the same thing, but he would just have a YouTube channel instead of a podcast. So, you know, he might make that subtle change or that subtle switch. And, you know, that's the energy I get off of the Page of Wands, is that there might be some subtle adjustments, let's put it that way, that are going to kind of need to happen over, I would say, even though this is a weekly reading, I feel this is something that's going to happen over the next like 6 months, you know, like where you could be having to make these minor adjustments or having to try new things or different approaches to things. And I think practicing like non-attachment is what I'm trying to get at here with the Page of Wands. You know, he is doing something, you know, he needs to do something to kind of just work on something without having, you know, an attachment to outcome. And I feel that will be the most fun thing for you. And I think that's the other secret with the Page of Wands, is fun. It's like, you know, sometimes if we are attached to an outcome, it's like we're probably attached to it because maybe it needs to make us money or whatever, right? And so we're not having fun. We're just doing something just to do it to make money. And I feel this is saying, as long as your approach is fun, then things will go well. You have the King of Wands. Definitely could be a person for those of you that are looking for a person. You know, it could be someone very bold, assertive. You know, usually King of Wands can be successful. You know, they're the entrepreneur in the tarot, so you could be attracting a more successful person. I would say they're very, you know, definitely attracting like a very driven person as well. So you could be, you know, that could be something that stands out to you. I also feel, again, that you are becoming more driven. Again, like that other card said, shared dreams. You know, it said partners, places, times, adventure. It's like you're attracting someone that has a similar mindset to your mindset, and, you know, that could obviously be a good thing. With the Two of Cups, sure, you have two cards. You have the Five of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Yeah. Five of Pentacles, needing to let go of the old story in love. Five of Pentacles is like two people who are left out in the cold. So you could be attracting a person who has a very similar love story to you. I also feel you need to, like, trust your intuitive hints about something. Like, you know, if you've met a person recently or whatever, you know, you might have to trust your intuition on this a little bit to be bolder or to be more assertive in the connection. You know, I definitely feel that, but this could be like a spiritual connection. With the Page of Wands, you have the Page of Pentacles. We have 3 pages here. Sorry, wrong camera. So you have 3 pages, and the Page of Pentacles could be communication. So if you're hoping to be with a new person, or if you're hoping to like meet a new person, obviously this could start with communication. Page of Pentacles is also the willingness to learn. So like I said, you know, the Page of Wands, he's kind of going on this journey. He doesn't really know where he's going, but he is willing to learn new things. And the Page of Pentacles is the card of studiousness. So whatever you're trying to accomplish, I think that if you just approach it like, this is a learning experience, I'm going to get as much as I can out of this, you know, that's going to be the best approach. With the King of Wands, you have the Tower. Again, we have the Tower twice. Almost everyone, you know, I can't really say this because you're the 4th reading that I'm doing this week, right? So, but so far, I think that multiple of the water signs that I did already had the Tower. So there definitely could be some global Tower moments this week, but, you know, this could also be a surprise. You know, you could be surprised that a person is interested in you here, Virgo. It could be that you are entering into a new reality, and that could be the thing that is bringing love into your life. So, again, that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Sometimes, if we attract a good person, it could shake our life up. Like, it could lead to some changes, obviously, which, you know, again, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Exposed and Revealed card and this Land Between card. Yes, very good, because that Land Between card is like my purgatory card. You know, it says that you kind of got off your path. You went to that floating island out there in the distance, and now you're getting back on your path, right? The exposed and revealed card makes sense with the whole truth thing that I was talking about, how you are, it's like not the truth, it's more authenticity. I feel like you are, and I'm not saying that you haven't been authentic, I just think you are more authentic. I think you are, and it's like sometimes I think that it's not that we're hiding something, but it's like if you meet a new group of people, it's like, do you tell them all your dirty laundry? Do you give that to them up front? No, right? You probably keep some things hidden behind the scenes, right? And so again, I'm not trying to say like, oh, you're hiding things, but I do feel like you're just not caring as much or whatever, which I think is a good thing. It's like you're being more authentic. You have the Justice card, the Tower, and the Page of Cups. Definitely could be justice coming in for you in general. I really don't feel much here on the Justice card, so some of you could be getting justice on some sort of situation that you've experienced in your life, and things could be balancing out because of it. Next, you have the Tower. Again, the Tower and the good stuff would really say you're like avoiding a Tower moment. So maybe you are avoiding a Tower moment. It could also be, the Tower is about accepting reality. These people have been ignoring reality inside that Tower, and now they're coming down to reality. And so they are accepting reality for how it is. And again, some of you, it's like a very matter-of-fact energy, which usually I say on the Six of Swords, which you have in this reading. So a lot of you, it's like you could be more in energy of accepting the fact of the matter, whatever it is in life. And this is good because it's like you're accepting things, and you're from that position, you can make better decisions, you can fix things, all that other good stuff. Next, you have two cards. I didn't even realize that. You have the Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups. So obviously someone could be rushing into your life here if you're looking for love. Again, the end of the year here is kind of good for love in some ways, even though we have Mercury retrograde in November. It doesn't really matter. So again, there could be a person obviously coming in for you, which, that looks good. There's really not much else to say about that. Pretty simple. With the Justice card, you have the Ace of Wands. I feel like this is your zest for life is returning, is what I feel like saying. It's like you're more excited about life. If you had any issues over the past several years where you feel like there were some injustices done against you, it could be anything. This could be like it's almost like your happiness is returning here, Virgo, or it's like, I'm not saying that you haven't been happy, but, maybe there's like a little bit more hope or something is returning to your life. I don't know. It feels good. I feel this is a good thing. So love it. With the Tower, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success or quick conclusion. And again, the Tower can be a positive conclusion. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. I always say Tower moments are part of life. We will always have Tower moments, and they don't have to be bad. But it's like this could be something where it's like maybe your business isn't working, or something else in your life isn't working, and you're making a change and it's going to work quickly, right? That is not a bad thing. That is obviously a good thing. I think the best way to put this would be to say that you're getting back on track, right? We saw this with the with this Land Between card. It's like you're coming back to your path here. So I definitely like that. It's like your life is back on track. Here you go. With the Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups, you have the Emperor. Definitely could be attracting an Emperor, an Empress, whatever you prefer here in your life. So if you're looking for love, this clearly could be like a new person that you are attracting, which is great. If that's what you're looking for. I also feel like you could be kind of like taking more control over your life. Next, you have this Diamond card. It says you will be receiving a precious gift. These are things that are coming from you. I don't know why I feel like I need to say this, but Ace of Pentacles, it's like I feel you are creating a lot right now. It's like the things are coming from your energy. And the reason I point this out for people sometimes is I think we need to give ourselves more credit. It's like, sometimes people will be humble and they'll be like, oh no, I didn't really have this accomplishment. All these other people helped me, which is fine, to give people credit. But at the same time, give yourself some freaking credit here, Virgo, for the things you've done. You have this October card and this Dog Far Away. It says a distant friend is thinking of you. Yeah, if you're thinking about a person, maybe it would be, like a friend, a family member. Might be a good time to reach out. You have this Rainbow. It says the most difficult part of a situation is over. Kind of how I felt with that Ace of Wands. It's like the return to happiness for you, Virgo, even though that's not what the Ace of Wands represents. I read intuitively. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you're returning to this like very positive energy. You have this Ram card. It says stubborn, aggressive person. I feel like you could be attracting a stubborn person, but not like in a bad way. King of Wands. King of Wands can be one-track mind. You know, it's like they're like a train. You know, a train is going in a direction. And it's like, if you want to date this person, you can get on the train or not. You know, it's like the choice is yours. And I'm not telling you what to do either. It's like the choice is yours. But it's like, I think you need, maybe that's something that you should realize, is that you're attracting a person like that, which again, that can be a good thing because, you know, it could mean that they're very successful or whatever, right? But definitely something to think about. You have this June card and this fire card. It says strong emotion, passionate love or hate. Yes, I would obviously, you know, give in to the love side of things. I think we are in a time of heart-based energy. So if we double down on heart-based energy and love and passion, good things will happen. If we double down on the other things, then, you know, obviously bad things will happen. So between now and June, it would be a good time for you to do that. I love this reading for you, Virgo, for sure. Really good. So thank you for being here. I forgot to say, leave a like and a comment on this video. Really helps me out. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.